death can save you from me.
Yo, what's up? Welcome to the channel. If this is your first time, welcome. If this is not, welcome back. So, I decided to make here a small video series describing how to get started with Diablo 2. A guide for anybody who has little to no knowledge of the game so far and who wants to get started on the latter seasons and creating your first character and so on. So in this first video I'm gonna go through how to choosing your starter class with my recommendations, and then in the next video I'm gonna get started on how to actually complete the game, get your first starter gear, gearing up and completing the normal difficulty of the game. So I hope you guys are gonna like it. Any comments, feel free to leave them below, questions and so forth, and I will take them into account with the next video. So let's just get started. Cheers! Alright, so choosing your first starter class is something that depends on a lot of different things, and that includes your playstyle and what you actually like when you're playing the game. So if you already have a favorite one, that's awesome. If not, then maybe you'll get inspired by what I have to say, my recommendations, or maybe you will find out by playing the game. So the first thing I want to touch on is, for anyone who doesn't know, Diablo 2 has various difficulties, and it functions kind of like New Game Plus functions in various other games, where you complete the game on normal difficulty and then you unlock a second playthrough on nightmare difficulty, and then when you complete the second playthrough you unlock the third and final playthrough, hell, which is where the real challenge starts. So before we start each new difficulty, we will be preparing ourselves, leveling up and gearing up to make sure that we're 100% ready to face the next challenge. Alright, so the first thing we need to figure out when starting a new character is whether or not we're gonna play offline or online. Because when you're playing online, you'll be able to get help from other players, and you don't need to be able to solo the game by yourself. But when you're playing offline, you need to be able to solo the game by yourself. And this is where the part about difficulty comes in. Because when you get to the hell difficulty, the last difficulty, you'll start to notice that all of the monsters are immune to at least one type of damage. And most builds in Diablo 2, they focus on one type of damage, which means that when you get to hell, we will have to find out a way to deal with the immunes and how to get through this barrier. So that's one important thing that comes into play when you choose your new character. You're a little bit limited offline, especially the first time around with your first character, because you need someone who can clear the entire game. There are 3 different classes I would recommend when starting out, and the most solid choice will have to be the Paladin, both for offline and online play, because when using the Hammered In build, this character can clear basically any part of the game with ease and with minimal gear. The only problem you will have is with magic immunes, but they're only really a big problem when you get to the end of the game, when you have to beat Baal for the 3rd time. Other than that, the Paladin is easy to level up. It has great mobility because it has skills to run faster. It has Cleansing Aura, Redemption Aura, which can help you get healing. It can help you get rid of poison and curses. So all in all, it's an awesome character, and people also love it online because you'll be able to help out a lot, and you'll be able to clear areas that Sorceress, Assassin, Amazon and so on cannot clear alone because they have elemental damage. My second recommendation is also a solid choice, which is the Assassin. She is very overpowered in the normal difficulty with her fire traps, but she also has a good way to deal with immunes when you get to hell, which makes her a solid choice for offline as well as online play. Other than that, she has a bunch of useful utility skills, for crowd control with Mind Blast that can turn enemies against each other and stun them. And mobility skills, she has Burst of Speed, which makes her run a lot faster and lay her traps faster, which is awesome. She also has the Fade skill, which can give you a bunch of extra resistances and damage reduction, which can also be helpful. So all in all, another solid choice. The third class I'm going to recommend is my personal favorite and the best class for starting out if you prioritize speed. It is of course the Sorceress. She is the only class which has the teleport skill and can use it from a very early level. This will help you a ton when you're trying to get your new starter gear, when you're gearing up to prepare for Nightmare and Hell difficulty. The downside for the Sorceress is that she has no great ways to deal with immune monsters. This means that you will have to skip through a lot of the content on Hell by teleporting past large chunks of the game, or you will have to get a strong mercenary which can help you out, which can be a little bit difficult on your first time playing through the game. So my recommendation would be to at least complete the game once before creating your first Sorceress. Completing the game once gives you a chance to get to know the game, how it works, and it will make it much easier for you to complete the game your second time around. It will also give you a chance to gather some gear that you can use to make your next character easier to play. So these are my 3 recommendations for starting out. You can of course choose the Necromancer, the Amazon, or the Barbarian, or the Druid, but I would recommend to starting out with one of these 3 that I mentioned. And there is an honorable mention, which is the Barbarian. In my opinion, he is the worst starting class, because he is just so slow and it takes such a long time to complete the game with him. So unless you want torture, then do not make your starter class a Barbarian. All in all, a Paladin is probably the best choice for your first ever playthrough. And Sorceress is probably your best choice if you already know the game and want to get a fast start on a new ladder season. Mainly because the Sorceress is awesome for farming. She will help you get runes and gear a lot faster than the other characters. The Paladin is also great for Diablo and ball runs, which still makes it a perfect choice for a first character, even for veteran players. So we chose our starting character. What's next? Well, next up is actually completing the game. And in my next video I will break down how to beat the game, where to find your starter gear, and where to level up to do this the best way possible so you can get through the game without getting stuck and without having problems with any of the bosses and monsters. So if you like this video or have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below, and I would love to answer any questions, or if you have anything I need to explain further in a new video, also drop it in the comments, because then I can take it into account and include it in my next video. So thank you guys for watching. Peace.